out. They're going to print it out, leave it on the corner of their desk, and they'll eventually get to it. And that's all you want. Dear friend, it's true. If you own or operate a business, or if you're simply a man or woman who wants to make a lot of money very quickly, this is the most exciting and important message you will ever read. This formula, if you are this is the most exciting and important message you will ever read, came pretty much from Halbert. He popularized that. Most people don't say that. They say they're very weak in their presentation. They'll say things like, "This may be," or "This can be," or "This can be the most important message." Be confident. This is the most important message. It's the most exciting and important message. Why? Exciting. People love excitement. That conveys energy and pop, and that's what people are sorely missing in their life. Okay. So you notice I say, if you are simply a man or woman who wants to make a lot of money very quickly, I highlighted that again for the skimmers. Okay. Then I talk about my story, and then here I have a picture. Create any lifestyle you want. It's me and my daughter and our dogs out on our dock. You want to put pictures that make you or create a perception of you being tangible. This is a very warm, inviting picture. Who wouldn't want to hang around with this, situation, dogs, kids, beautiful lake. You want to put pictures like that. If you're you're going to attract a different crowd of people. If I had a picture of myself in front of a Porsche, dressed up, with a $5,000 watch on and, $600 sunglasses and a, $2,500 Armani suit, you're going to get different people. I'm not looking for the dreamers. I'm looking for people that I can take places and help, and that will stick around and like what they find. That's going to be conveyed more by a picture like this than a biz-op sort of picture that you conventionally see. So think about that next time you're doing your pictures. 9 years ago, I was dead broke. Actually, I wasn't just broke. I was desperate. With an ex-wife and 3 kids and a dog in tow. This dog's new. A beautiful new wife I was madly in love with. 2 car payments, daycare, child support, yada, yada, yada. Lawyers' bills up the yin-yang that were all rapidly suffocating me like a thick plastic bag twisted very tightly around my head. I was at my wit's end and I didn't know what to do. So right away, I am describing my story, which is 100% true, and in this case, it's a rags to riches story. Okay, there's loads of stories that you can use. I always use the truth, because the truth is everybody wants to know things about you. I had tremendous skills, a good heart, and the other thing is this is lots of people's story. I'm not the only one who's gone through this. Everybody's been in this situation. It seemed like the harder I worked, the further in debt I got, and the less business came to me. It's true. Until I stumbled across a new kind of marketing that was right up my alley. I didn't know it then, but like many things in life that seem to blindside you, at that moment I was about to rewrite my destiny. Very true. Like I said, I've never lied in any copy, because the truth is always so effective as long as you can present it in a compelling and compassionate and happy sort of way. I stumbled across emotional direct marketing, and once you become a master at this, you can attract prospects like wildfire instead of chasing them down like a crazy person, which is, we've all been there. What do you do for business? You cold call, you network, you pounce on anybody with a pulse. And then after years of frustration, anxiety, what instantly happens is your prospects can't seem to resist you. And that is very true. It literally is that instantly. You change the way you market to them, they change their response. It's no different than how you treat your children. Believe me, I have teenage kids, and how you say things and how you react to them dramatically changes your relationship with them. If you respond haphazardly and harshly to their stupidity, you're going to cripple your relationship. However, if you respond understanding that they are, kind of being nutty because they're teenagers, and then you can keep your head above water and have a great relationship with them. The good news is, to do this consistently, reliably, and effectively, there's only one skill you need to have, which is pretty much the truth. You need to know how to push your prospects' emotional buy buttons. That's the whole key to emotional direct response marketing. Knowing how to do this gives you the inside track to all your prospects' buying decisions. Once you understand how to do this, you genuinely have an unfair advantage over every other competitor of yours out there in the marketplace. All I'm doing here is explaining the story. And because it's the truth, it is very easy and engaging. Now, notice how this is written extremely conversationally. I mean, if you and I were having a conversation, this is how I'd be talking to you, okay? And that's how you want to write, okay? You want to write conversationally. And here, this is because you buy what you want to buy, not what you need to buy. For instance, you moved into your neighborhood and you bought, and see, it's important sometimes. You have to convince people sometimes of what you're saying. So here's where I'm convincing and explaining this comment. Just think about it. You moved into your neighborhood and you bought the house you're living in right now because of how it makes you feel, right? And if you're brutally honest, you also bought your last car and you went on your most recent vacation because these experiences gave you a certain sense of satisfaction beyond any basic needs. So you take vacations because you want to go place, not because you need to go place. Even if you rationalize your decisions afterwards by saying like, oh, taxes are low in this neighborhood, or it's a great value, and then on your vacation, it's more important to see the Grand Canyon and the Empire State Building. The truth is, all buying decisions are emotional. It's true. Think about when you moved into your neighborhood. You moved there because of a certain feeling it gave you. You know, even if you picked it because that was your budget, that particular house, that particular backyard, that particular front door, the office in your room, the carpeting in your bedroom, the way you're walking to the bathroom and you can hop into the shower makes you feel a certain way. Okay? Whatever you say afterwards is fine, but the reality is you do things because you want to do them. They make you feel a certain way. And that's what you have to do with your prospects when you want to sell them. Okay? And so this letter is explaining this to you and sharing this with you and also allowing you to go through your own range of emotions. The bad news is digging through your prospects' cluttered minds to try and figure out what their emotional buy buttons are is as easy as digging through the proverbial haystack to find your missing needle. It's hard to figure out where to start and even harder to know when to stop. So what I'm saying is, now that you've got this formula, how do you apply it? Well, it's not that easy. It's tough to know how to push these buy buttons, even if you realize that's what you have to do. But once you discover how to do it, okay, consistently getting your prospects to take action is 100% dependent on your ability to engage them emotionally. You can use this knowledge to take off like a turbo-boosted rocket ship. One thing I understood was people. Again, this is the rest of my story. It's all true. And then I'll skip to the punchline. You know, I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks in New York City. I had an abusive family I grew in, but what that did was it allowed me to understand what makes people tick. And a best explanation of this is if you read Malcolm Gladwell's book, Blink, which he talks about thin slicing, which is where you make hair-splitting decisions based upon something inherent inside of you. He explains in there how kids who grow up in abusive homes are very good at this because we have always had to anticipate the environment we're walking into. You know, who's going to explode today? You know, which body part do I have to cover up or duck? Or, you know, how low do I have to duck? Is it a slap to the face or a kick in the knees? You know, which way is it coming? Is he pissed off because he had to work extra, or because we have no money, or because you know, it rained and you know, the horse racing was canceled or something? So not knowing this, but that's why people who come out of troubled environments are often very good at this. I was what you'd call a natural. I understood this stuff like white on rice. It fit me like a warm, cozy glove. In other words, these skills were inherent to me, and I felt very comfortable using them. But I never knew until I stumbled across emotional direct response marketing that I could use them to make me money. Okay, so once you understand them and find out how to use them in business, basically I talk about how your entire life changes dramatically for the better, and even the way you see the world starts changing. That's because you can understand why people do things much more acutely. And when you can understand why people do things, it doesn't necessarily only help your business relationship. It helps a lot of your personal relationships. And what it does is it gives you a lot more empathy into understanding others. And when you're more empathetic, you are less conflicted, you're less angry, you are more compassionate, and you are able to look at things better from the other person's point of view, which in any relationship is really critical, especially, of course, in business and selling. Okay? This continues the story of, you know, the way to get people.